mercy. The pen boys, they are searching for that space. Come and they are breaking, waiting for that space. And I am praying with my faith. A man moving, man dropping. Yeah, he does another case. This life is not easy, but at least the men they are surviving. And Babylon and them and block life. They don't want to see the Rasta man implemented. And the body used to hit today. I mean, they say they let thank God for me. And the body used to hit today. They calling me the champion. See what you've done for me, Papa. See the play you took me from, Daddy. I know I am a sinner. They call you my Papa, please don't have from me. See what you done for me, Papa. See the play you took me from. No one knows my story. They call you my daddy, please don't have from me. Yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, Papa, God, are you? Oh, no, no, no.
Welcome, this is Alfonso Z, and so it's Friday evening to welcome. This is All Things Considered.
I see the girl, Papa, God, are you? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, yeah. Please don't hide from me, yeah. No, Papa, God, don't hide from me, yeah.
This is a latest from our Liberians artist right there in the nation's capital of Liberia.
Please don't hide from me, and daddy gonna go away. Please don't hide from me, bro, peace and love to me, don't hide from me. Yes, so they were dry red. Today I eating fried red, thank God for me. At least I made it home, and they will pour it when they see me eating.
We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Alfonso Z, and so right here from the diaspora to informative news outlet Liberia Public Radio.
I did body used to today that mean they say they left. Thank God for me. And the body used to hasty today they calling me the champion.
We're getting the first statement from the opposition alternative National Congress political leaders. Just bump into our mailbag here. So we're going to be breaking that. A lot is unfolding in the political discourse. The subliminal messages is taking hold of the politics in Liberia. How many of you falling into this sort of boogie trap?
See what you done for me, Papa. See the play you took me from. No one knows my story. Before you, my daddy, please don't have from me.
No one knows the story. Only you and you can adequately define yourself. It's unfortunate people are allowing people to define them in their context, put them in a little cage, tell them of their description, establish their identity, and just unable to make the case. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's going to be a major press conference according to what we are getting here in our mailbag. The opposition's alternative National Congress, Alexander Benedict Cummings, it was slated, but it's been put forward. Over 24 hours of that press statement by Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, the political leader, and still chaired, I believe, of the CPP collaborate the party. Oh my goodness. Okay. Welcome. I'm Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio, 10 Lpr-Tv. We're going to be having this program already on the way. The Liberal Progressive is standing by, who is also a member of the Liberty Party, but carefully and calculatively put a hook on the Liberty Party USA, trying to avoid crisis or to be part of the crisis. That his party that has been governed by the opposition because of the lack of political tolerance, too much tight. What is unfolding is just unbelievable. We'll try to get a peg at it, give a fair, balanced, objective conversation. And of course, you, our valuable listeners and audience, will also form part of the conversation. Welcome. Let's get the ball rolling. Okay, good morning to Liberia, good evening to USA and the rest of the world. Welcome back to this talking point. All things considered, politics is on edge. The democracy is being challenged in Liberia with subliminal messages. These messages appears to be true, but in reality, they are not. But for those with limited vision to literally, they yet to get it. And it seems to me these messages are playing out well because there are some folks who are here to establish the true identity to what these messages are in the communication war. So that is the visual aspect is also being inserted into their talking point, presented very well to give you a good structure, reconstruct it I carefully to word it in their interpretations or to sway or to bring into reality a clear picture of what they are trying to say. Well, with me here this evening is the Labour Progressive, the one who tries to distance himself from what is happening by tying himself, confining himself in his own comfort zone right here in Saxton, Sacramento, California. Liberty Party diehard stalwart Samson Bloku Branto is here with me. Let's see. I'm going to bring him on and we will listen to that press conference that was held by his political leader, Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence of Grand Bassa County. Let me bring in the labor because he seems that he's pinning down backstage here. Let's see here. Hopefully, the far right, Amos George, will also come in here. Who are you communicating with now?
Good evening, Mr. So. We're here. Thank you very much for inviting us again. We're here as a counterweight of the conservative ideas that are going to be coming from the far right and anybody else that might not be suitable for us. We will respond and respond in kind, respectfully, Mr. So.
Usually, when somebody says we will respond, is not necessarily in kind, though. Are you trying to also reconstruct or to retweet or something here this evening or what?
Mr. Soul, let me repeat again. We will respond and respond in kind. In other words, we will respond words by words, except if those words are degrading to our brothers and sisters, we'll try to stay away from it because we do know the words.
You are not responding to those words that are degrading in your own word. You are not. I don't know which one you will respond to, what time, or what specifically you are making to reference. So I want to start this boy yet. We want to start on a soft note, but there is nothing guaranteed as to whether this plane or this train will not derail at the end of this evening here. But I guarantee you it's going to be a high call conversation because what is unfolding in Liberia now, Libra, are you paying attention to me or
I
you?
am. I'm listening to
Or
you quite well.
you
Go
talking to
ahead,
you talking to your partisan? Are you trying to get
Mr.
a sense
So.
of?
I'm listening to you.
Yeah. Okay. So all right, because I need your attention. I need your attention. I want to engage you constructively, for the good of the country. Because what is unfolding now is quite interesting. It's no longer in you guys' hands. The CPP, the C whatever piece. It's all about Liberia and protecting the dignity of democracy. That's what we are talking about now. In as much we have also a government that is so much inept and lack the will to tackle some of these messages that are coming. And this year, this has been quite a long time. These sort of messages been unfolding globally, but it is very few people are far-sighted to know. I don't know whether you are also being influenced by subliminal messages. I don't know, but let's see. So what we're going to do right now, something to let's get a pic of the conference, the press conference that was held by Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence of the CPP, that's a collaborative party, for some of the investigation. But we are also hearing fresh news this evening that the political leader of ANC, Alexander Benedict Cummings, will be speaking. How many press conferences this guy going to be hosting? What he doesn't know that he think he's going to know right now. Oh, I feel bad for Liberia. I need to talk to Jeff Bezos. Maybe for them to do something, because you people, the politicians in Liberia, and they are more or less people have become followers, and they are putting the interest of the country at real. It's just appalling, staggering. Something tall here is also being one of the facilitators. I'm going to go to the state mayor, but let's listen to this message by Senator Nyombli Kanga Lawrence. Let's see here.
We should be speaking, as you already know, on the framework investigative report. We ask that all members of the press please turn your gadget on silent to avoid distraction. So at this moment, we have to seize the opportunity to invite to the press Senator Yompi Kanga Lawrence, the chairperson of the CPP. Thank you.
Fellow citizens and members of the press, this press conference is here with call to submit to you all findings of the report on the complaints regarding the altering of the CPP framework document filed at the National Election Commission. Fellow Liberians, on May 19, 2020, chairpersons and political leaders of 4 political parties, the All Liberian Party, the Alternative National Congress, the Liberty Party, the Unity Party, signed a framework agreement, thereby establishing the Collaborating Political Parties, CPP. The FA signed on May 19, 2020 via Zoom, went through all of the rigorous legal and fundamental procedures, ranging from validation to review and ratification by the respective executive committees of the 4 parties. On the same day of the signing, the FA, Mr. Arizona B. Cummings, and the ANC, in line with the CPP rotational leadership, proportional tenure took over the leadership of CPP. 5 copies of the FA were signed and given to the leadership of CPP to be notarized, and each party served a copy. We'd like to note for the record that up to today's date, no party has received a copy of the document signed on May 19, 2020. On July 14, 2020, a framework agreement along with resolutions signed by absolute majority of the executive committees of the constituent parties was submitted by the CPP leadership under the guidance of Mr. Cummings to the National Election Commission for certification of the CPP. On August 4, 2020, the CPP was certificated. On August 18, 2021, the ARP, through its political leader, Honorable Benani Debbie Hewitt, filed a complaint with the leadership of the CPP that the FA was tampered with before submission to the NEC. Fellow Liberians, on October 6, 2021, the National Advisory Council of the CPP received from the committee established to investigate the claims made by Honorable Hewitt, a 28-page report following a detailed presentation of the report, which thoroughly analyzed 3 separate framework documents. FA signed on May 19, 2020, amended FA dated April 25, 2020, named Lawyers Version, and the FA filed with the NEC. The CPP hereby presents to our partisans, supporters, and the Liberian people findings from the report. Let me, on behalf of the leadership of the CPP, extend our profound gratitude to the 5-member committee for the professional and impartial investigation they conducted and the balanced and credible report they have produced. We also want to extend our thanks and appreciation to Mr. Benani W. Hewitt for flagging and bringing to the attention of the CPP leadership and the Liberian people at large the altering of the CPP framework document, both in writing and verbal notification. we wish to state for the record that the National Advisory Council of the CPP in its October 6, 2020 meeting agreed that no executive and permanent member of the constituent political parties will make any public comments in the media, social, print, and electronic. On the report of the lawyers can review the report. In violation of this agreement, permanent members, executive committee members of
Okay, let me just see here. Let me move this here. All right. Let me check my microphone here. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Let's get this here. Some unusual some. Where the heck is coming from here? Just hold on hold on 1 second, please. Okay, we want to apologize for that here. That's something too. That's what he does. He always try to those sort of Russian attitude. That's why he wants to bring here and to infiltrate my system with the hope that we're going to pollute this here. The Liberal Progressive, welcome to this talking point.
Thank you, Mr. Soul. We appreciate it.
Okay, so let's get a conversation. Joining this conversation from Atlanta, Georgia, a senior analyst, commentator, Amos George is here. I think the Liberal was praying, hopefully, that George doesn't show face, but his God did not do him a favor. He didn't answer here. Does he? Okay, gentlemen, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So, and good evening, Samson.
Mr. George.
How you doing?
Okay, why you don't want to be nice to Amos George? You just
Mr. Soul,
Mr.
Soul, it's Friday afternoon. We're here to have a fruitful discussion that is affecting our people back home. Now you want to make it mano against Mr. George and myself. Mr. George and myself, we're good friends. We don't agree on a lot of stuff. There's no hidden secret about that. And I'm going to deal with that today because both of you are on the other side of the aisle. I'm on the other side, and I'm going to pretty much deal. Mr. George, you're looking spectacular here tonight. I'm not too sure why, but you're radiating. Let's put it that way.
Thank you for the compliment.
That's a lip service. He's trying to do that. He tries to neutralize you. Something to tricks. I mean, I've been hanging with this guy for. In fact, from his town to my town, Pa George is like maybe less than 45 minutes drive. So
walking, drive it cannot be 45 minutes. Walking, drive is like 15 minutes the most.
All right. They are the Liberty Party engineer. I got you. You know all of the measurement. But that's not the point here this evening. Okay, gentlemen, let's have a conversation here. We just received a message here. You listen? I believe you guys have listened to the interview by Senator Nyombli Kangal Lawrence. It first started off to submit the report, but then at the end, I'm hearing that it is being transferred to another, whether be ICHO or whatever committee or expert to finalize it. This is ridiculous. It is absurd. They are trying to tamper with the democratic process in Liberia. Right now, I'm getting nervous because democracy is on edge in Liberia now with respect to how it's going to be done. We're going to get to the details of that. But interestingly, we're almost 24 hours. We are getting the information. Alexander Benedict Cummings, the embattled member, one of the members of the CPP. Right now, he's standing on his own. That I can say. The ANC have now realized that it is time for them to open their eyes. Let them see a Kolo where he on his own right now because the train is going to derail. It already derailed. So he's going to be speaking in a major press conference. We yet to know the details of that conference. Remember, after the first accusation, he mounted the podium with the hope to stabilize, to neutralize, to soften the blow. It didn't work out. Attack doors from all of the other collaboration went like a wild geese. They were all out assault with subliminal messages, putting it into context, trying to reconstruct it. Here we are. This guy is going to go to the podium again. I don't know where he's going to go. But let's start from where it started from. You listen to Senator Nyombi Kangat Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
Let me start from the home front, the partisans of Senator Lawrence. The liberal.
Yes,
Please undo the garments of politics here, and let's put the interest of the country first. Investigation was launched. Report all of our eyes, and I can say this is no longer within the confine of the CPP. It's all about Liberia. Whether you are CPP, WPP, as long as you are a Liberian, you should pay keen attention to what is happening, what is unfolding. You listen to Nyombi Kangat Lawrence press briefing. What's your take?
Well, Mr. So, thank you very much. Honestly, I mean, she was giving documents that were put together by the group, a selected committee who has done the investigation. And I did not hear an objection from the Cummins or any of the political party that is part of the collaboration political group. No objection to the selection process of the group, the committee that was doing an investigation. Apparently, the group must have done their investigation. They turned their report over to the chairperson, and the chairperson was just reading what was written, the report, as they would call it. The only issue that I have is that yeah, people are trying to make this report as though it was formulated by the senator herself. Instead of then to say this report was compiled by the group that was selected by everyone. Every one of the political leaders have an input in the selection process of the group. So this for me, this is democracy at the best. We are transparent. It's simple as that. Nowhere we can turn this thing around because the CDC and what much more better and different from the CDC and this group. Right now, CDC, the NPP or MWP, whatever you call them, they are not even together. But that's besides the point. What is happening with our political collaborating political party right now? It's what you look for in transparency. It's what you look for in leadership to be able to make sure that these things are transparent. It's bad. I'll be the first to say it looks real bad for us, all of us, not just the Comey or the political party and what have you. It looks real bad. Now, how do we move from here?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Look, this is a conversation. And I don't want people to speak in a specific tone here and leaving my audience with unclear language or people speaking. This is not a society boy. What is bad?
The uptake and the process itself, according to the report, the language that was used were very, crafted with intellectual that crafted the language very precise. The language, if you go with the language, there's so much involved. However, I'm not going to go into the semantic of the language and all that kind of good stuff, which I can use here on this platform to wiggle my way around of this mess. But I'm not going to do that. I would stay here as member of Liberty Party USA, that is, and also someone who sympathized with the CPP to say this is not looking good for us. However, this is what I also want to say. The brothers and sisters that are together, I will hope that will continue to have a clear understanding that yes, somebody can make mistake or something happen, whatever it is. But the fact that it's out in the open, it shows that if you elect they see CPP into government position, you give them power, they will be transparent. And this is the issue of transparency that is being shown. Now, other people might use this opportunity to try to denigrate the other side and what have you. Remember, the collaborating political party, not because they are joining together, they're also infighting. Political democracy is going on with CPP itself. The people are jockeying for position. But overall, Mr. So, it looks bad for us. But I think what gave me pleasure here this evening is the fact that we were able to have an investigation. We were able to come out with a report, and the report is there for everyone to read and make whatever they want to make of it. We're transparent. We're not hiding anything. We are saying this is what happened, and this is exactly what happened. Now, I understand.
We are not roller skating. I'm just giving you time to learn. This is
Mr. So you can't. Let me close by saying this.
Okay.
I hope that whatever comes after this, the report, the release of the report, whoever gonna come out to make statement, your statement that you're gonna be making, my belief, any of these political leaders are gonna come out to make statement after, your statement should be viewed as unifying. Your statement should be viewed not to get blame or put blame here or take responsibility if you think so. But at the end, your statement must be unifying to all of us, so that some of us that got a big mouth that are part of this CPP will be able to stand and face their council and face whoever that is think they're on the other side and face them and tell them this is nothing. We're doing the best we can and we're being transparent, Mr. Saul.
Gentlemen, the talking point is on the way. Well, that's a perfect analysis. Roller skating from Totan to Rhode Island and then to reset it to Ohio, Dayton, and finally landed in Saxton, Sacramento, where he's currently based at the New England, as a Sacramento Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio. So, Amos Joy, you heard the rhythm. I didn't hear any drumming. This Totan guy, he likes to drum. He likes drumming, but I didn't hear any drums. I didn't hear the samba from Grandy there, but he was just flowing to like water. Okay. What did he leave out in his talking point, in his narrative, in his assertion as he analyzed this? Also, he picked words carefully. I know something, too. I know who he is, but he's not going to get away here. We're going to have a lengthy discussion. Let me hear from your side. You listened to that press briefing. Did we get all of the details that required, that need to put this case to a rest? When an investigation is launched and a report is being submitted, and when the chair is presenting that report, believe me, it's not just only to your partisans. You are communicating with the entire world, the demographic, the voting bloc, the Liberian people, because we all have interest in what is happening. What are you for or against, right? Because these people, they are seeking, we for now know 2 of the 4 are seeking for the higher office of the land. And there was accusations with one of the 4. So now investigation has been launched in the findings in your first sentence paragraph to submit. But I'm still trying to find out what he has submitted. Let me hear from you. Do you get all of the details from that report?
No. And let me say this. The Liberian people continue to be the victim of this situation. Maran Yome Kanga said in the Lomic Kanga, yesterday, our press statement was ill-informed, incomplete, inconsistencies. Yeah, it's the woman who is the chairperson of the CPP. She said the report was submitted. And she said that Mr. Cummings is culpable for what happened under his watch. But if you made that statement, then why are you saying that it have to go back to the committee to finalize it? What are they going to find out? You already said he's guilty. Now, here's another issue. did he do? What the? Because they're using how many words? They're using alteration and amendment. Alteration is a different word. Amendment is another word. So, which one was she talking about yesterday? Was it alter or amendment? Which one? So, she was not clear on those issues. Secondly, she said the document was given to all political parties to review. They normally come out who's speaking. They should review her copy that was given to her. And if she did, they should return it. She said no, she didn't return it. Benina Ure, who is now this clean guy, why he did not sign his copy and turn it back and send it back? Why Joseph Walker did not sign his copy and send it back? Look, we have to be very clear here. I will agree. Mr. Comey made one mistake by filing that document. He filed, yes. But I just saying, so none of them care about reading any of the documents. Only the position they're fighting for. The paper was given to people, sent to people to review. Did you review it? If you did, what did you correct? And when you send it back, or why you did not send it back? She didn't address those issues. Then she said, it's supposed to go to a body to reconcile everything. If they're going to a body to reconcile, then how can you accuse someone of being the culprit?
Let me hold you right there. Let me hold you right there. Let me bring somebody into indictment here, because there were some pieces of information deliberately, and I knew you were going to pin on this issue here. Now he's like a statue. He's stunned. He's surprised. He's acting as if he doesn't know what is coming. Samson told, do you think, and I want you to look in the eyes of the camera and look at and listen to Liberians who are also following here. Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, in your right mind frame, do you think she also reviewed that document before Thai submission?
She didn't review. She didn't review it. They said it was she not review it.
Hold on, don't speak. I'm talking to the liberal.
Oh, okay.
The liberal. He has muted his mic.
Mr. Soul, my mic would never be muted. Mr. Soul, let me say this again. As someone who has had many encounter and involved in the many political activities, be here in the diaspora, even in Liberia, I will not. I refuse to get myself involved into the nitty-gritty of everything else that is happening. Now, Mr. Soul, look, I'm not going to allow you and Mr. Center Right to bamboozle me into coming out here and who did what and what have you. I'm giving you a general statement. This entire process, whether I am on the side of Cummins or I am on the side of
the question. I didn't ask. No. I didn't ask you that question. That was not my question.
I have the right to make my statement. Please, if you don't mind. I'm saying to you, the entire thing that brought us to this public ridicule at this point, it doesn't matter what side is right, as long as we, the individuals, these are grown men, responsible people, highly educated, and decided political leadership, and they decided they're going to come together without knowing each other that well. That's fine. Once you come in this public forum, and there's a thing as a group, what I believe, as a group, individualism does not allow itself to be the head of anything, unless in the group that you are selected to be the leader. Now, having said that, I'm saying this to you again, Mr. So. However way you turn it, whether Madam Lawrence review or Benda Ure start the trouble or Dr. Baka refused to speak, it doesn't matter. This thing doesn't look good for us.
Does.
However, no, it doesn't matter to me. However, what I'm saying and what I want you to get out of this is the transparency process. It is transparency that comes out of this.
Now
look, both of you. I'm getting ready to put all of you in one basket here, and the basket of deplorable, and throw you guys out of this water right now. But I'm not going to do it that year, because I want to have a fruitful conversation here tonight. Now, let me say this: these people that are here, that are part of this conversation, that are responsible in collaborating, bringing this political collaboration together, I appreciate it. At this time, the fact that these things are brought into public and say this person is responsible or that person has done this, that for me is a sign of progress in Liberia.
Something to I ask you, all the other stuff you've been talking, as far as I'm concerned, they are waste to me. I ask you a specific, simple question. And now you are trying to put us on an Amtrak from California to come here. Again, let me ask you, if you do that, you're going to forfeit your ability to speak on certain things here this evening. Let me just tell you straight off.
Mr. So, this is what you do. You want now to come and rule and show your you're showing us your Donald Trump right now. You're showing us your Donald Trump ability. How can you say, if I don't answer the question, a liberal, and you say, if I don't answer your question according to you, that means I forfeit my ability to speak a public issue that affecting my people in Liberia? You're gonna have to gag me to be able to speak here tonight, or cut my mic off, Mr. So you're not going to come and bamboozle me into accepting your center, your far right position, your conservative position, and think that I'm going to accept that.
Yeah, all right, because you're just trying to pull things all around here to make up a case that does not.
But what am I saying that doesn't make sense?
Ask you a simple question again. Let me just ask you. If you can answer it, I understand. That's the game of politics you guys play, and your gamut Liberia, not just only Liberia, your gamut the entire country and the government. I'm asking you, Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, one of the four collaborating party, all of them sat down and put this document believing to be something that they're going to govern. And I've said this over and over. These people did not take a time. It was hurriedly put together with the sole purpose, because things are going bad, which of course is true. And they were doing everything to unseat the CDC government, which of course is, they have the right to do that as an opposition. But they didn't take a holistic approach. There was no short-term goal. There was no long-term goal. Let's come together. We will do this. After all, opposition coming together doesn't work. Opposition are always formed before election. But again, Liberia, it is why it is. They always have this sort of obituary. Let me ask you, do you think Nyombli Kanga Lawrence carefully took time to review that document?
Mr. So, and I will answer it as a liberal progressive. First thing is this: your conservative view do not intimidate me. Let's get that out front. The second thing is this: as far as I'm concerned, whose view or no view, that process have already been taking place. In the CPP collaborating political party, this is LPR is not an investigating arm of CPP for you to ask me whether that has happened. All I said to you, and I'm being very honest, it doesn't look good for us. And I think that our leadership themselves will take full responsibility.
Can you tell us
whatever transpired?
Can you tell us specifically why doesn't look good?
The entire process. The document, according to the report, the document being altered, number one. How the process came to be for somebody to write a letter to ICE.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying, I'm making a statement. Let me lay it out. First, for somebody to come who is part of the collaborating political party, the reason why I say it doesn't look good. First, Honorable Benedict Urey engaged improperly, as far as I'm concerned, without consulting the entire group to say this is what I suspect. However, Benedict Urey decided to put whatever conversation he had to put it in public. Number one. The second thing, the investigation process now review to us that perhaps this document must have been altered or this document was filed improperly. Or any way you want to take it. Any way you want to take it. the collaborating political party, the process itself doesn't look good for us. However, the good thing is we are transparent. We're talking about it here.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Mr. George, I try to wrap this around my hair, and Samson Tona is creating a situation where my hair is pounding and I'm feeling a severe pain. After saying all that he have said, gone all around, and he said transparent. Where is the transparency?
There was no transparency in this whole process. Let me say this. The committee that reviewed this document, they didn't point out anybody to be culpable for that document. They didn't go to Mr. Cummings to ask, hey, who did this amendment? Who wrote this? Who authored this? Who did it? They never did it. How can that you cannot conclude that it is not the one that did it? When the committee charged with responsibility left, they didn't say anything like that. It was Madam Yomikana who came out to say that. Now, then she said they didn't talk about reprimanding. The committee should not make any recommendation for reprimand or whatever. They should not do so. But she's not going to take it and give it to another committee. But you have already prejudged the whole situation. You have already found someone culpable, guilty already. So how now can you have impartial understanding of that document? The document, it was not transparent because these key factors are lacking. Why they did not read a portion that I was given to them? Why is not coming to file that document? And when he filed it, where were they at the time? What did they do? Since they said it was improper, what did they do at that time, up to this time? Why they did not raise the issue? These people have planned, Mr. So, the Boaga, the Yomikana, and Benna Yure, they have planned to go against Alexander Cummings. That's why I see nothing good can come out of this thing. Why you think it was delayed? That's why I don't calculate it. That Boaga did not want to take over that chairmanship because he know he will not have the face to go into the issue. So he pushed out the Yomikana so now she can be the bulldog to come out and make this kind of allegation against another partisan in the CPP. Those are some of the reasons. Because what she said, where's the facts? Okay, if you said the document was amended or altered, show something. Because you have to show someone who has been injured by the alteration, by being altered or amendment. That is the law. If you say I did something wrong, you have to prove what I did, who did that thing harm. You only cannot prove anything that the amendment that was made, it did harm Mr. Boakai or Benina Yure or Yomli Kanga, and it benefited Alexander Cummings. There's nothing there to show. So what is this crime that they made? These are issues Yomli Kanga, she did not address anything, and I just sorry. The journalists, they don't ask the question. These are things to push.
Yeah, Pat George, you actually pull it into context. I have said this from the onset. Now, my dear brother and friend is frozen because he was just not able to point out. But we are here to do what is right for Liberia. And I say from the onset, this thing here is no longer in the hands of the CPP. Because CPP, as far as I'm concerned, considering what is happening, what I'm saying, the talking point, the narrative that's been unfolded, there seems to be on a very dangerous path as well for that country if these people are to take state power. Because why? They have deployed this thing here called subliminal message. These messages are something that they have used their attack doors, they have used their people to influence. And that's just not only it. I will take you back as a communication person. When I see this image, when I read this image, the collaborations of these people, it doesn't look authentic. It doesn't look genuine. This image here, I'm not talking about the address code. I'm not talking about who wearing why, who wearing gold, why, who not wearing gold, why. But this image here, it speaks volume that someone, haven't heard from them, that one of the four claimed to put together to collaborate. Three came together with a high conspiracy. This guy here, he's not one of us. This guy here, we can keep in among us. This guy here, he's not trusted. This guy here, we cannot confide in him. Period. That's what I've been. But I'm so surprised that the common folks, I'm not sure whether they didn't see this one coming or they do not have communication people
So
to how
from
this
day
thing.
one, I think from
This
day
is-
one,
we've been talking this thing here.
that
They came
collaboration.
out here to talk their position. And they said, well, we have to do it whatever we want. They came out with their mathematicians and their statisticians and whatever, and they began to apportion votes when the process has not even been, when the process has not even played out. You will get this, I will get this, and the game is all over. And we saw their leaders came in drove, decided to pivot in a specific direction. I don't know this guy. He still couldn't see that he was already left by the wayside. He was considered as a stranger. He's not one of us and all of that. But yet instead, they were tapping into his resources. What is staggering in this whole thing here? And you laid it out here. And I'll come to it and I will give you the chance to deliberate. Report was submitted. All of these people hurriedly, they decided to, for whatever reason, they claim they sent it without a reviewing a 28. That is ridiculous in itself for people who wants to be leader. And your claim, first of all, they came into this collaboration, brought all of their packages. They wasn't able to sit down to condense their idea. When you want to collaborate, you become one. But yet they were still arguing. You remember anytime we say something, yeah, okay, we can't meddle into the affairs of this other political party. These are the flaws that are created, and to say, okay, we want to be independent. When you decide to come together, probably they will use the CDC to model and just throw George, we are the president, now president, we have to be the head, and brought in NPP, and they say maybe the head. They didn't do that. They sent a document. So my question, Nyomli Kanga didn't read. I assume Ben and I didn't read. The trouble child into this whole thing here, they didn't read. What his name? What the other guy name? Omen Boyka Samson told I choice for the Kennedy.
Oh,
I assume he didn't read.
Document. He read a document to file.
Yeah,
When he read a document, but they didn't read.
that's what I'm
saying.
saying. That's your own deficiency. But interestingly, I want to know who is embedded within the NEC, the National Election Commission, that took all their precious time, maybe 2, 3, 4 days, put aside the work that we are paying him or her, only to go out into this document to spot out something, to say something is not right. Come on, guys, let's be honest here. And I assume if this thing is not right, now these people, they are being certified as collaborative teams. So ultimately they have become one. So if there's anything that is not within the confine of NEC, the National Election Commission, what they should do, a communication should be served simultaneously. So who the heck is within that NEC that finds interest so much in Benana Ure? And they didn't even call the chairman and call Benana Ure. And remember, Benana Ure started first, and that's what I put that message. The subliminal message, it started a long time. The coming folks didn't see it. They didn't pay attention to it. They are all careless. They are unprepared. When they get on the line, they all cuss, and that's all they want to give us for Liberia. That is dangerous. We're going to expose all of them. Who is within the NEC? There's so much fine interest in one of the four and call Benana Ure and say, hey, this is not right. And throw that out to Benana Ure. Nyombli Kanga Lawrence is coming us to tell us now on this press conference. The thanking Benana Ure is for because he flagged out something. Come on, guys, give me a break. That's not local here. It's nothing of. So why that person within the NEC did not serve all of the rest of the four, because they are all one. In fact, is that a rule of NEC? They should be sued. That's a breach of confidence. If the information is not right, if I register here as a candidate and my documents are inconclusive, are not right, what you do, You call me, you tell me, hey, you need this, and within a specified time frame, I should get it right. But what they are telling us now, the electoral process is going to be temporary. I no longer believe in the electoral process. Cummings, the collab, and Yombi Kanga should stand up as a chair. And all of them, not just them. We need to know who did that, because NEC should be an independent body. They are not there to represent the interests of any political party or political leader, whatever they are. That's not their job. If their document does not meet the standard of NEC under their framework as a collaborative party, NEC should call them out, and that communication must be served simultaneously. What is the special relationship? Why Benana Uri was the one that brought it? And you remember, you saw that letter Benana Uri threw. It was a little fish that he threw out there. And Cumming folks does not have the capacity to adequately line by line go into that letter to what was ahead of them. Now, what is happening now? The alligators eating their own baby, and I can tell you, Cummings is only the hair up now. And we're going to see, we're going to be having a press conference on Sunday. I don't know what's going to be the difference here, but I can tell you this collaboration right now is on life support. The Liberal.
Well, thank you, Mr. So. Thank you very much. And as you and the center right was speaking, I try to hold my peace as much as possible. However, I just want to lay out one thing. I am not about ready to join you and the center right on your speculative I call it monologue here tonight. I'm not going to be part of it. I'm not going to be part of it. I'm not going to be here to sit here and accuse based on speculations, which I have no evidence of, and try to make statement on that. Mr. Soul, excuse me. First thing is this. The collaborating political party, they are much more responsible as a group, and they are ready to lead. In the upcoming election, we will win the election. I'm not here to come and talk about little 5 cent, 2 cent, and take my eyes off of the pride, which is the leadership of the Republic of Liberia. Liberians are yearning for leadership. Liberians are yearning for someone that will take us from one point to another. I'm not going to sit here with you in the center right and let you guys bamboozle me into accepting to be part of the speculative here tonight. I'm not going to do that. One thing, Mr. So, the political collaborating political party, Madam Lawrence, have given their statement. And what my understanding on Wakome will come out tomorrow. What I say and what I expect out of any of these 4 political leaders that are part of the collaborating political party is to now come out, instead of pointing finger or assigning blame to one person of another. If the thing is on you, take full responsibility as our leader. And let's move. Hold on. When you guys were talking, I don't say anything. That's why you see I was there. The other half, something about Bobo. You think about Bobo? You center right and you far right. You think about Bobo? You think I can't sit there and then white or 2 of your kumbaya stuff? I ain't here for that kumbaya business. No, I'm here to tell you that this political party, I'm not going to sit down here and say, oh, the president did it because he didn't let that one. Oh, that's good thing that so nyama talk. I'm here for no nyama talk business. I'm here to tell you tonight that we, the collaborative political party, we will win the election. I'm can't talk about what paper, who did what paper, and do what. That paper that people eat, that the paper who time why that why the people eat. No, they want somebody to lead it. And we will make Dr. Bwaka the president of the Republic of Liberia, and he will give us the leadership. That's why the people, you think the people here, you think Liberian people waiting for you to say who signed paper, who did what paper, what. That's not why here for. I say, let me say again in plain Liberian English, they think good for all. All of all. all that people, all you think say you part of the political party collaborate, the thing no good for all. So the only good thing that comes from the thing is to tell the Liberian people, look, we can, if something happen among all will tell you, will not lie, will not hide it. Nobody hiding anything. Look what happened. Look how bad it is. We sorry.
So, something.
Mr. Smith, I gotta tell you.
So now they can tell us, look, we also have interest. It's not about they are not doing this to have it with aims. They want to take state power. So why can't they tell us if there was an investigation? However, I too will not condone if there's any alterations on the part of the ANC or the leader of the ANC, whoever that was in charge. But from the connotation, from the language of Senator Kanga, tell us that it was on the watch. When something is on your watch, and anything, for example, happens, you will be held responsible. So why can't they tell us this is what has happened, Komen did it, or ANC did it, and tell us specific what he did, and things
look, Mr. Hold on, Mr. Judge, hold on, Mr. So let me help you guys here a little bit.
No, you don't need to help me.
You guys been poking it intellectually, that is. You guys been poking it in here.
You're not being honest.
Let me help you out. Intellectually, you guys been poking this thing. I'm trying my best for us to stay, for me particularly, to stay out of it.
Why do you want to stay out of it? Why do you want to stay out of it?
Let me read, because I don't think it's that important.
So let me ask this question now.
Let me read something.
Hold on.
Even if I wanted to challenge you and Mr. George on this here, and even if I want to challenge my own political leader on this, listen to this wording: procedural lapse. Procedural lapse. You know what procedural lapse is?
Tell me.
Okay. First of all, procedure is what is happening in what you guys said. This is the way things gonna be for us to get from one point to point B, from point A to point B. It's a procedure. A lapse is something when you make mistake, or you make mistake and you say, oh, something here, someone you can do this. If I want to go to the semantic, we can go through this entire process word by word by word and try to be so fancy here tonight. But that's not what I want to do. I want my people to take full responsibility of what happened.
Okay,
we brought a mess on ourselves, and we're telling the Liberian people, look, we brought a mess on ourselves. We will fix it. We will fix it. But this is how we're fixing it. We will fix it with you, Liberian people, being inside the part of the process, so you can see what we do. Our hands are clean. Our hands are clean. That's what I'm telling you.
No, that's been very dishonest and been very genuine.
That's good.
Well, as far as so let's ask this question here. Now, report investigation was conducted. So in your first statement, say to submit the findings. It means they have come to a conclusion. Here we now again telling us they're going to send it to their lawyers, their attorneys. So whatever, would there be a difference? Would there be a change in tone with the perception now that she came out to say this happens on a Cummins' watch? Look, we want fairness, and we have to discuss the thing. Yeah, they have already called here. We want a fair process because why? We see them coming together, which is okay, and they want to take state power. If they cannot continue, if they cannot kind of mend the broken fences among themselves, and then we give them the Republic of Liberia, they're not going to break loose. They're going to.
I doubt it. That's your opinion. I hope Coming do not listen to you and the center right. And when he comes on tomorrow, he should just come in whatever statement that he's going to make. I will advise that statement be a statement of unifying process.
So let me ask you that. Do you think in yourself? Do you think we don't know what you're going to look like? I don't know what the lawyers are going to be talking about. They're going to come back. I don't know what are you going to change the narrative to stop what is unfolding now with the two supporters, the Cummins folks, the ANC, the ALPs, other faction wing as well. Do you think you're going to change the narrative? And do you think
definitely if Mr. Cummins comes up tomorrow,
trust will still be with the ANC? With the
if Mr. Cummins comes up tomorrow, Mr. So
document?
If Mr. Cumming comes up tomorrow, and let me speak as Mr. Cumming. Look, my people, they think I don't look good for all of us.
You know, you remember the
But hold
alliance?
on, Mr.
You
So,
remember the alliance
I
with
hear
Larry
what you
Tupac
want to
and
say.
Teaching Waters? That's a repetition of what is happening.
No, hold on, Mr. So I'm being very honest with you. I'm being very honest with you. If Mr. Cumming comes up tomorrow and explain, look, my people, they think all of us, what are Benla Euro, what are Dr. Baka, what are Mio, what are Nyomdi Kanga, we all don't look good, and we're not looking good coming out of it. Those of us that want to take state power, this is not how we start. We want you to know, Liberian people, that this thing we're doing, good thing we got Madam Kanka here who brought the entire thing, and we got Benla Euro who brought the entire thing to the public view with nobody hiding anything. Our hands are clean. Now, we take full responsibility, and we're telling you and we're promising you from this point on, Mr. So let me finish. From this point on, we will tell you how we want to lead and how Liberians is to be led. Simple. Simple.
It's not
Don't
simple.
blame anybody.
That's a deception there. That's a palaver hard truth. You're telling us the same thing, George. We are telling us now about the war crime. What are you telling us? Investigation is being launched. When the investigation is launched, it has the report. Are you telling me Comey should come now? Or will Benana Yuri agree with his session? Will Joseph Boyka agree with his session? So then, if all he did it, then he either come out and tell us. But we need to know the outcome of the investigation. And that's why you don't want to address, Mr. George.
Now, let me say this, Mr. Toll. Now your language you're speaking is for your one.
It's not even for me.
Yomri Kanga, Benina Yuri, Joseph Walker, they are all the same thing. They know exactly what they're doing. That's why you see they don't want to come forward to say anything precisely to the Liberian people. In fact, by the way, that press conference should have been heard by the lawyers, because they are the one who went through the documents. She should have had the lawyers there to explain to the people what went on. But she chose to come to explain, and she's not a lawyer. She can't explain if this. Take for example,
and she was using a lot of legal terms.
They said that something of written Roman numbers, but they changed it to what? A level of alphabet. So, is that a crime? You write something in Roman number, they change it in the numbers. Is that a crime?
Something else better. You're an engineer. There's a substitution method in mathematics. You can use anything.
The question that I'm asking, maybe Mr. Tony can help me. After reviewing all the documents, what the Yomi Kanga said was a crime that was committed. And if a crime was committed, who did it hurt and who did it benefit? Did she explain that?
No, but even I don't think about who is being hurt, who is benefits. I need to know. I think Liberian people wants to know who committed this crime and what was the crime committed. That's the cardinal point here. But she left it bleak and sent it out to other people. It's all political correctness. And Samson Toe is coming out here trying to salad dress.
Mr. So, it doesn't matter how you look what you have done. You made your picture larger. You made Mr. George picture larger, and you took me all the way in the bike. My picture so small now that these are the kinds of stuff you people would do. Because I have so much important things to say, and you go now. You're gonna play some of these games, but I'm not gonna worry about it. The picture small now is not gonna change my view. Look, let me say this again. As far as I'm concerned, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I don't got time for the small thing. I'm looking at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture here is this. Number one, these people, all four of them, if they don't hold together, none of them will be elected. Simple.
Are they aware of, so the question is, are they aware of that?
Let me just hold on, Mr.
Are they aware of that?
Hold on. The reason I'm saying that is this. They all came together without truly understanding that they all have one or two, three things in common. They don't. Now, You came together and you have Liberians from all walks of Liberians are now fathering one group or another, and you're putting all of these people together. And now you want to extricate yourself. That's not going to happen. Mr. Kumi going to stay in this marriage. Nobody divorcing, and in other sense, we're not going to divorce each other. We're going to take full responsibility of our action and show to the Liberian people that we have the ability to lead because we take responsibility and because we are transparent. I'm not too sure if two of you understand that, because the central right, all he wants to do is to make sure there's an explosive situation. The people are speculating that one don't let the one do, and then you, the far right, you also allow the center right to have you pull you and think says something is wrong. What I'm saying to you, whether something wrong or not, we are going to show to the Liberian people that we have the ability to lead.
No.
We're not going to fight among ourselves.
But that will be bias. You say you want for Mr. Kumi to come and say he take full responsibility.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. In fact, no, hold on. In fact, let me push you a little bit. Let me push you on this. In fact, if I were Mr. Kumi, if I'm having a press conference tomorrow, I will bring all three of the other political leaders on stage.
What is he talking about? What? Something to you see, this guy here, it's just unbelievable. His talking point. This is the same guy who said he was encouraging, telling Cummings to have gone to Joseph Boyka endorsement program, whatever been constituted.
No. I didn't say that. No, I never agree with that. I think Mr. Judge can attest to that. I was one of those who thought it was a foolish idea.
Okay, but yeah, is the point. Here is your point. You say you want Cummings to be vice president. Do you, considering all that we know, even though we have not gotten to the bottom line, nobody is telling us exactly what has been the crime that is being committed. I'm not talking about these nonsense that are going all around. People do this and try to make us something. I'm waiting for the outcome of the investigation. Do you still, with all of this, some people say finger, whatever, toes, or whatever, I don't care. Do you still believe, do you still trust Cummings? Considering what we know now, even though we don't know the findings, but people have already come to a conclusion what the findings is going to be for Cummings to still be part of this collaboration, perhaps to be vice president or Joseph Boyka.
Let me put my foot in my mouth. I don't mind that. Let me put my foot in my mouth. I don't mind that. In fact, I would say tonight, without hesitation, that Cummings' position, the way he has been treated, that his position has become stronger, to be honest with you. And therefore, I say, because I feel his position has been stronger, and since I feel that his position has been stronger, I would suggest to Cummings and his people that he be the big boys in the room and say to the Liberian people that, look, no matter how this thing turned out, thank you, Mr. So. Yes, this is the liberal progressive. This is what I want to see on the screen. You put me in that small way behind that, like, sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. But this is what Cummings would say. We all here as collaborating political party, things happen. We know what happened. The main thing is that we didn't hide it. We never hid this thing from you guys. Liberian people, this is what it is. The main thing the opposition political party is getting out of this, you know what that is? Clean hands. I don't care what you say. Clean hands. The ability to lead the Liberian government for clean hand. That's what's coming out of this.
Something to still being discussed to the go ahead, Pa George.
It's a tool. This way to do the clean hand is not a clean hands. Those hands are dirty. Your political young cannot. This is not her first time. She and her brother Dylan, they went after ability author documents. Only to go to the election commission and to find out that claim was false. It was false. It's the same Yomi coming again to launch an attack. I will not call it a press conference. To launch an attack. Why? She could not bring all the political leaders there to have that press conference.
It was not like that.
Since she want to be transparent, why she couldn't bring Boyka? Why she couldn't be Cummings? Why she couldn't bring Ayuri there? Why? Because she's a leader, and that is something involved the four political parties. So why should not bring these people to have that press conference? It is a calculated plot. They had already tried to. She wants to be vice president, so now she's pitching. She had joined agreement to silence and is not coming and to malign. You guys one of the spokesperson, your son, Henry Costa, calling the man criminal that the man can't depart if you're going to wage a campaign against him. You only can't have one who are feeding Costa with all the false documents to go on air and abuse the man. This is the kind of dirty politics the people play in Liberia. These people had tested power and they will do everything. So anybody that come there, that will do anything that will stay in their way, they will use a mic truck to get you off. And this is why they bring the comics. These people play dirty games in Liberia. And it's surfacing.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad for my country, not necessarily for these politicians. Because guess what? The alligator going to eat your own baby. Costa demonized, denigrated Joseph Boyka. Joseph Boyka now he's relying, he thinks he's in heaven. But guess what? Yeah. The alligator going to take hold, because if it doesn't, when the central can no longer hold, that will happen. So they are using him now as an attack dog into this whole thing here. Benana Ure is aware. Nyobli Kanga is aware. Joseph Boyka is aware. Who is a statement? He's quiet. He is muted. He's together saying, and you always use this parable here. You cannot have the elder under the palm tree, and you see children are using bullets. They are using car glasses, machines, how you call it, to kill one another. That's what they are using. So now he positioned himself as a talk show. I don't want no any position. We don't have no control. But guess what? We're seeing things falling out. This guy came out to attack these people.
But let me ask you this: How is Costa's statement different from what the center right is saying right now? Ben Layure, he's a troublemaker. Ben Layure, and Nyobli Kanga, they're playing this thing, and Baka, they're playing this. How is that different? The only difference is
what happened. What happened? Costa came out and attacked and called these people. I will not listen to Joseph Boyka. I will not listen to Benana Ure. I will not listen to Nyobli Kanga. What his name for comments on, he's already in the lion's den. So that, of course, we know. I will not listen. When you have people saying this, I'm wondering, any government that will be elected, look, we need people with political stability and tolerance. Can they confide in this brother to bring into any person? It will not happen. That would be the surprise. If Joseph Boyka will declare him winner. But I can tell you, we're talking to folks, there is a big divide within the Unity Party wing. The Helen Johnson Sirleaf wing in the Unity Party, they are not friends with Joseph Boyka. So Joseph Boyka still has his own order to go through. But I'm telling you the danger that hangs over our country, because he's part of the system and we need to call it out. He's a major actor. He wants to contest, whether he wants to do it or not. That his constitutional right to do so. But to have somebody who is part of a process, who is part of a thing, and you have an investigation ongoing, and you're claiming, and you're even threatening this leader, you bully them, and they fall to submission. And that's why we saw Nyobli Kanga coming like a little baby and having that press conference without no end to result, throwing it out because she doesn't want to be caught in the middle. And you have Joseph Boyka that's to say,
Mr. So let us don't forget. Let us don't forget. Hold on 1 minute. Let us don't forget.
I'll give you a chance. Let me learn my point, please. And they are sitting down and nobody is talking. So guess what? They have one within their own system that even if they take state power tomorrow, there will be a constant habit to declassify information that do not need to be declassified. Go ahead now.
Mr. So let us don't forget the lady that you think she coming like a baby. This is this lady that flocked your friend, your good friend who used to be Senate Pro-Tem, who is your good friend. This lady flocked this guy. You know who? The former Senate Pro-Tem, the former finance, not finance, but foreign minister.
You don't even know where you're talking.
Hold on. This lady is not a small potato. This is the political leader of Liberty Party. This lady flogged this man twice, if I'm not mistaken. And not only that, she also flocked this man when he was being supported heavily
So,
by
look,
CC.
here is the
Don't
thing.
call her
Here is
small
the thing.
lady. She's
Here's
a
a
heavy
serious,
potato
there's
in the Liberian politics
look,
overall, Mr.
yeah,
So.
here's the thing. There's a serious bloodbath, and they don't want to talk it. Since the 2017 election, these people feel a comment causes the presidency to Joseph Boyka. Two, I remember very well from his own program, COP is not a political party. The frame was a political institution. And COP wanted accommodation within the CPP. And it was on a Cummins' watch that they requested that to be a committee, and Cummins refused. So it has created this sort of political dent with the ANC and Alexander Cummins. So this bitterness, this resentment. I am saying this to say this is not good for Liberia. I don't care. And I want people who are credible. If these four people, if they are unable to contain, to manage, to conduct the affairs of these political institutions, I can't trust any of them to manage Ministry of Finance, Lpr-Tv, or NPA. Let me go to this number here and I'll come to you quickly here. 612, good evening, what's your name?
My name is Elvis. Thank you for taking my call, Mr. So.
Hey, Elvis, welcome, brother. Go ahead.
Thank you again. You know, you just touched on something that really encouraged me to call back again. You know, I'm so disappointed tonight. I'm really heartbroken, really, when I think about it. And as we talked previously, I feel sorry for the youth in that country.
So bad.
Because our future is being mortgaged with people who just simply doesn't care about us. And I wanted to ask you this question. I'm sure maybe some of your panelists will know this answer quite simply. There's a clause in the Constitution that says a person cannot run for the presidency if they haven't been living in Liberia consistently for over 10 years. To my understanding, for example, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf ran in 2005. The war was over 2003. That wasn't enough time for her to have residency in that country to run for president, unless the Constitution was suspended or was some special provision given for her. The same thing could be said for Mr. Cummings, although, quite honestly, I'm leaning towards him as a supporter. But is he qualified under the Constitution, or has that law been relaxed? That's my first question.
So, Elvis, I can answer this question here strictly out front. Remember, Cummings participated in the 2017 presidential election, so it means there was no violation here. Helen Johnson Sirleaf also participated, so it means NEC, they have also done their due diligence. I think we have surpassed that. I honestly, if it was a case, one of these political parties, somebody would have seen that vision to file in the protest or some sort of I complain relative to that. Of course, it is there, but it said you can go in and come out unless you stay out, come within that time frame. So there are also exceptions to that process. But bottom line, the brother participated in 2017. You understand what I'm saying? So you can't come back to already get that sort of complaint to on him or any of the other people.
Mr. So,
all right, and then to my following question,
they went to
George. Yeah, go ahead.
The reason I'm so disappointed is because looking at the current situation, Mr. Cummings pigeonholed himself. You can't go into a cesspool wearing a white coat. You're going to get dirty, mud is going to be stuck on you, and that's what's happening to him now. One of his best attributes that he has is the attribute to delegate responsibilities. And I think his picking of teams, the way he surrounds himself with talented people who are competent, people who have a good track record as professionals, that's one of his best attributes. And I think if he ascends to the presidency, that's something that a lot of our political leaders like right now, is that ability to be a good man manager. But he lacks the political savvy. And that's where he's getting beaten like a market dog right now. They're beating him with a political savvy. And that's why he needed to run for some kind of office. You got to run for dog catcher before you can even run for superintendent.
Exactly. I think I asked him that question on my program here during that interview.
So that would be my only point. Right. Really, when I'm looking at everything, I'm just disappointed. As a young man, I'm completely disappointed in the situation of our country right now.
Believe me, Elvis, you have all reason.
Mr. So how's the Liberal doing for him tonight?
What you what?
ask the young man, how's the liberal doing for him tonight?
It is not about you.
Well,
You are doing terrible. You are doing bad.
Of course, from you.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. George.
Yeah.
The future of this collaboration, do you see it prospering? Is it going to hold? It's not going to hold. Let me see here. Let me read this here quickly here. We're not going to be here for long. I'm waiting to see the outcome comments. You know, that's what happened. If you can't stand, if you can't put out your defense and you want for people to protect you, I feel for you. Let me take this guy quick call here quick. Maybe that Joe Biden calling from Delaware. Hello, caller, are you there?
This is Amos.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I thought that Joe Biden left his campaign prayer quality.
Hey, you always make reference to Joe Biden. You must be a fan of Joe.
Good evening. Welcome.
Yes, I'm in great show as always. But one thing I haven't heard on any of the programs is looking critically at the leadership of the CPP. Who the leader is, Mrs. Kanga. Kanga Larris. I mean, I'm asking you a question. On a serious note, looking at her track record based on the handling of the leader of her handling of her party's affairs, and then now with the CPP. I mean, can you grade her? I want the Labour to grade her because
the Labour is in coma right now. He's holding his forehead. So what you have done to you have put bone in his esophagus, and he finding it very difficult to get his airway going.
Very easy. I can grade her. I can grade her very easily. No big deal.
So, this is poor leadership. I mean, her press conferences. I mean, a real leader would not come up in the midst of a crisis to give the press conference that she did. I mean, giving a press conference is another thing, but what she said was what further inflamed the whole situation.
There you go.
Every time she comes up as a leader, she doesn't inflame the situation. That's not how leaders behave. Now, seeing what you made about George Weah, I mean, I don't like it, you know, what they are doing to our country, to tell you the truth. But you don't hear George Weah speaking out, you know, when his father leaders said bad things about him. He's not come up, you know, give a press conference and they indict somebody. No.
Exactly. You already indicted, and then you take the case. Hey, I'm going to send it. So he's trying to be the clean. She's trying to be the clean one. Seriously?
Look, Apostle, let me give you just a very brief example. I was working with an organization. By the time I entered the organization, my immediate subordinate, I knew that he didn't like me. That was the problem. He was very confrontational towards me because apparently he thought the position was supposed to go to him, but instead it wasn't a stranger. I treated the case very delicately. I did not come out with outbursts, you know, revenge, you know, all of that. But I mean, see, I'm telling you, if for somebody other than Yumley who had great leadership skills, all these issues, you know, leaking documents. Could you imagine a leader sending documents, Costa, everything, you know, Costa? I mean that's so.
Look, that country is in a mess.
Yeah, you
that country.
The person to become a vice president of the country. Because being a vice president is so that means you are, you know, a prospective president. I mean, could you imagine having a president that can control, you know, a political party, and then they'll have, you know, they'll control the country. With all the leaks, every little thing, you know, she'll come out and say things. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me go to the other caller here. So I'll go back to my guys. 973 number 6794. Go ahead quickly.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Business. 67. You said 679. So is it 6?
No,
94.
No, not yeah. That's it. 973 6494. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, Mr. So. How you doing?
Good evening. Welcome.
Mr. So, I don't know, sometimes when Mr. Pro talking, he be joking or being taken serious because sometimes when he talking, he holds demeanor like he's taking it for fun. You understand? It's about our country, what's going on right now. You see, these people that in the collaboration, a lot of them, they used to doing certain things the way this man do things. All right? So they caught off guard. Because they did paperwork, they did everything. I don't believe the man did anything. And when they finally did all the thing, because then and now you have remember they had a press conference, say, oh, everything was okay. The video stay out there. They ran everything was okay. The signature, the signature was there, everything was there. Even just like press conference. And they sent the paper to the election commission. How long that been sent to sign the paper? Almost a year and a half, right?
Mm.
Okay. So why now? Because I think what's going on, the figure this man is coming up, he gaining momentum. The very man where they said, well, nobody, he working hard. They used to be relaxing and just let things come to them. He changing the way politics works. I'm confused. They say people don't understand how politics works. Alexander Comey understand how politics works in Liberia. Now he's doing the work. He's reaching out to people. He's doing the job the proper way. What's happening right now? Young people got there to be frank with you. Whether Alexander come and become president or not, he will still be okay. Like he said, he will go back to a private citizen thing and do his own private business.
Okay.
But to be frank with you, Young Kanga, nah. Young Kanga, the Jelon, the Joseph Walker, I don't think the people can leave our country because all of them, whether don't, the effort document account. I don't know what cost of position in the party, but they shouldn't be giving information to this board to be. I call your boy because I'm sorry, no disrespect, but that's how I feel about him. Okay, to be disrespecting people on the higher level. We in America, nobody said political game or politics is not nasty. But here we have been very childish. Okay? Just cursing at one person using words that not supposed to be used and paying people on social media to curse them. Even Pansawi, to the point that he texted me and sent me something. I told you, I said, listen, I'm supporting ANC. I concluded I want to move forward. So you don't talk. But then we get up in the morning on your way to work, insulting this man. Now, these are people we say older, we're supposed to look up to people calling him Pop. Why must I call somebody like that Pop? If these people don't get it together,
Okay.
at the end of the day, whether Alexander come and win or who, Joseph Walker will not win, so we are. So they must forget it. So maybe that they're planning to destroy it, but good luck to them, and we'll continue to watch it.
Thank
May
you
the
so
best
much.
person win.
All
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. 763, are you there? Quickly. Please lower your monitor. 763 number tie 5052. 763 5052, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. You got a lawyer. I think we're getting a feedback from you there. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Quickly, buddy.
Yeah, I'm here.
Mm-hmm. What's your name and where you coming from?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can say good night to everyone there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Lasana Douglas calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Lasana. Welcome.
Yeah, I've been listening to all the panelists, especially Mr. George.
Mm-hmm.
I really want for us to do justice to Liberia or for the Liberian people.
Go ahead, we're listening. Time.
Yeah, okay. I'm hearing myself. This is the reason why.
Yeah, because there's a background, there's something we're playing in your background. That's what's happening. So just speak, just carry on.
Okay, I've been really listening to you guys, and Mr. Toa being very sincere in the. Okay, Mr. Toa been very sincere to the Liberian people.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've been listening to him,
mm-hmm.
and people thought that whenever sometimes he's laughing, he's very serious of what he's saying, and it's real. Everyone else was here everyone else was here yesterday, day before yesterday. People icing everywhere, let the people come out to say who did the thing. The noise was all over. And say, so at this heat, somebody coming out to tell the truth. That is the best thing that the woman has ever done. Because
so okay, yeah, quickly here before I go here. You think that the woman told the truth yesterday?
To me,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
what was the truth? What was the truth that she unveiled?
the funding that the people found, how do you call it? There was a funding, they set up people, yeah, they set up people to carry on funding.
And what happened?
Whether it is in the interest of Unity Party or whatsoever, as long as the process changes, it means something wrong.
Who caused the change? Who caused that change? Who caused the change?
So let's say a specific person, but
so then where is the funding?
It is always showing that it's happening under the umbrella of Alexander Cummings.
Okay, so listen, if you are somewhere, if you are in your house or you're somewhere and something got missing, you are in that range. Does that suggest you did it?
If I thought I'm getting that particular
no, not yet. Only heading. Yeah. So I mean, because he was heading that, and you also part of that, and all of you did not go to have that sort of a discussion. You didn't look at anything. Does that mean you the one did it? We shouldn't investigate, and even if they are investigating, we can't wait for the findings to come out.
No, there was investigation and the findings came out.
So then, yes, then why she send it? Then why she send it to the lawyer again?
Yeah,
why you
send it to lawyer? There will be another deal.
Look, you shouldn't misinform Liberian people. It's not about I like this party, I like this person here. It's about the country. All right. So we shouldn't say things that we do not just have idea or we just do not understand. There was no court case in that. If there was a court case, she would have told us that yes, Cummings or the ANC folks did it. That's what I want to know. Mr. George, are you there? Are you guys there, gentlemen?
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Look, I think there is a second thought process that is coming to me here. And maybe we will find out in the long run. There are two things. We're waiting for the conclusions of this investigation. Either the man that is being accused, Cummings, did it. Pa George, you listen to what I'm saying? And I want us either the man that is accused, Cummings, did it, or that particular conditions that they are talking about or referring to, it was inserted into that document. The Cummings and the ANC themselves did not look at that document, but he is the last handler of that document. That's the case in SF Nyombli Kangana is making honor his wife. Politics is a very dangerous game. There are so many ways to alienate someone, your opponent. There are two things now. And I don't know why that just popped into my head here. Mr. Jackson, you got to be coming on here with us. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but I listen to other people that are 28. Our people are lazy. They just grab paper, they do skimming, and they finish with it. So this is what we're going to do. This guy going to be the head of this CPP. They throw this in here. Comment went to bed. He didn't read it. His folks didn't look at it because it was simply embedded into that. Now, he's being indicted, literally, that he's the last handler. So they are saying he is the one that took the cookies from the cookies jar. It's like the Firestone worker. Well, you know, when you are noted of signing something, they went and wrote a guy's own letter of resignation when he should have retired the next day. But being that he's so used to signing, anything he see the cursive writing, he used to sign it, he quickly write it and sign it. They signed it. When he reached to the board now, they said, my man, tomorrow's supposed to be your day to retire to get all your benefit, but you already resigned, so you forfeit everything. I don't know what that pops through my head, but there are two things involved. Either the investigation established the fact that Cummings, as they said, did it, or that those conditions were inserted into that document deliberately to entrap the ANC and Alexander Cummings as the last handler, and he was the guy that's going to be submitting these documents to NEC, so the ball drops on him. Is that the possibility? That scenario could work.
Mr. So, in an investigation, you cannot rule anything. But one thing again, where the signature on the document changed, she didn't talk about the signatures that were on the document, that affects the document were not changed. Somebody clandestine people that incited those things in the document because they say, look, want to read one or two, and maybe it comes to the secretary, the special assistants, and say, "No, okay, the man officer so yeah, document, yeah, okay, and you know, went to yeah, okay, that's it. That you the boss man that he signed. Hey, when you sign that document tomorrow, they come again. They say, "Well, on your watch."
People trust people for no reason. People trust people for no reason.
Yes.
That is one of the possible scenarios that I see. If the investigations establish the fact that he didn't do it, or if they can prove to us that he did it, but that document, I strongly believe something was tempered, something was done, and out of carelessness or out of trust, and they all article 1 way. Let me go to Mr. Jackson from the Liberal State. Mr. Jackson, are you there?
Yes, sir. How are you? Good evening, sir. Good evening, Liberal. Good evening, Mr. George.
Go ahead.
Sir. Okay. I'm a little bit confused, especially with Jomli Kanga press conference. And if you listen to the press conference, you will wonder whether there was a need to call press conference, or she should have just waited until the lawyer, goes through the document before she could come.
The Bulldog forced them to a press conference. That's the danger we are heading into, and these people don't want to say it. Someone forced them. Mr. Jackson, someone forced them to submission. Joseph Boyka, Benana Yure, what her name, Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, they were forced to submissions, and they did that exactly. It shows us.
So, and the question that I normally ask, why are those changes? Who does it change it? And disadvantage, and who had the advantage of those changes? Let's take, for example, terminal illness, to good health. Who did it really, and taking advantage? If they say terminal illness, why is terminal illness? Why is good health? So why is it things that make these things that happen? They have a structural change. Does it advantage coming or disadvantage Mr. Boyka? No, nobody can tell you yet. Nobody able to tell you that those changes that they say that were structural changes, and were done by Cummings or were done by the lawyers. Then we could have
why in the first place a press conference was held in the absence and all of the other parties. All of these people, either directly or indirectly, they are representative. It means they are in accord with what she's saying. She went to her house. The guy standing there with an orange T-shirt, looking disoriented himself, and people put your phone on silent. We are talking about a country. These people want to lead Liberia, and people think that it's a joke here. People just wants to be a follower because you like Cummings, you like Joseph Boyka, you like Benana Yure. It's bigger than what we are talking about here. These things you are being held to one of the parties' headquarters, with all of the parties represented. It shows the part and parcel of what's going to be coming out of her. She went to her house, set one bottle of water on the table, and things say that she just want to come with an inconclusive, nothing in her press conference as far as I'm concerned, just a complete charade because they want to meet somebody demands. Is that how they want to lead this country? And we should sit down and allow them because they are CPP, WPP. Folks, you need to open your eyes. That country is heading for danger.
My question is to my liberal, best friend, Samson, is Samson, do you think this thing, do you think it will have a good impact on Nyombli Kanga leadership moving forward? Because it is under her leadership that we hear all these things. Do you think this thing could have been handled in a better way than what it is now? If so, who responsible?
Why Joseph Boyka cannot even take this leadership? It's overdue. What is responsible for that? Why he can manage this crisis? It is his time. There's a crisis now. Why Joseph Boyka is not managing this crisis? The liberal progressive.
Well, I was just waiting on you to have the dialogue with everybody else before you come back to us. But anyhow, look, a lady called earlier and was wondering whether I'm serious on most of my comment that I make here.
Don't mind us. You are always a serious guy. I don't agree with that.
I'm always serious. Number one.
We just have to allow people to express their view.
Second thing, I don't expect everybody to agree with me. I will speak my mind, and I will speak it freely. Now, Mr. Jackson, yes, I do agree that perhaps this whole thing here, and if you perhaps were to join us earlier, you probably would have heard that I stated that this thing doesn't look good for all of us, including the Yumrikan guys and then the Lawrence, the Cummings, the Baka, and the Ben Layure. Everyone will not come out of this unscathed. Let's put it that way. Now, the point that I'm making, I will continue to make here tonight, is this. These people came together as political collaborating political party. And we have political leaders that are together, making themselves to be one in unity. And if you don't study each other, we're talking about state power. Unless, and I'll put my foot in my mouth again, if these four people have intended to fraud Liberia, in other words, to just use Liberians, to say, let's get together, and whoever wins, you do, like a elephant meat. Yes, but I don't think that's what these people have. They truly believe that coming together, all four of them coming together, there's something in there for the Liberian people. They're coming together. They most likely felt that there's a benefit for the Liberian people. Now, another thing I want to point out here very quickly, I don't care who say what and who want to blame me, it doesn't matter. What Nyamdi Kanga came, did a press conference, feeding people are saying that in fact, I'm not going to say people, the center right and the far right accusing Nyamdi Kanga of perhaps feeling Costa with information. Far from true, speculation. Nyamdi Kanga doesn't need to feed Costa. Costa, he can get any paper from Liberia for any information. Time will come. Your time will come, center right. Your time will come and you will respond. And I will expect some tough one coming back from you. Then that's okay with me as well. Now, Nyamdi Kanga doesn't have to feed. Costa get any document he wants from Liberia. So Costa information line is open, number one. Second thing is, Nyamdi Kanga, whatever way the process is, I say and I will say again, this thing doesn't look good for us. Liberian people, they have a clear understanding that the transparency that is lacking with the current leadership is rooted among us. We will show to the Liberian people that we are transparent. We will show to the Liberian people that the leadership that is lacking is what coming out. Now, you can say, well, the people, the finger, what document? What document, finger, what? Who did the document? As you guys continue to answer a question tonight, I didn't want to join you guys.
So, do you believe that?
I didn't want to join you two in the speculative commentary here tonight, because I want one thing and one thing only: to flood the CDC and make sure that the next government that is in waiting come to power, because all we want to do is to free the Liberian people. So you and your document that it doesn't matter to me. We will be in a leadership position and we will show to the Liberian people that we have the ability to lead.
What you are doing, Thomas George, what Samson Tour is doing is to resolve a cold case. There is a cold case. We need to find who is the bad guys. This is part of good governance, and you are deliberately trying to ignore that. Somebody said, now it is your document. Allegedly, people say the finger, whatever they did with it, they are talking about right now. You don't want us to resolve that. You don't want us to bring to a full conclusion who is the doer of this alleged episode. You want us now, you want to flood people, which is okay. You want us to give you state power. The next day, when we give you the state power, you are going to temper with the Constitution.
Mr. So, if you don't mind, let me address a gentleman here. Mr. Victor B. Smith is now watching and making comments. Mr. Smith, all I can say here is this. I know you're on the side. Mr. Smith is also a conservative, so I know that very well. So he's on you guys' side, but that's not going to deter me. I'm not afraid of
Why
being.
you want to attack? Why are you attacking our support? Why are you attacking our viewers?
I'm not attacking. I'm just saying these are conservatives with you and the central right ideas. This is what he's writing here. He's writing here that the people are fighting. Mr. Smith, what you need to know is politics is politics, and we have to have an infighting. This is what makes us stronger. So, Mr. Smith, Mr. Victor B. Smith, if you don't mind, we are here as a collaborating political party, and we will win the position of leadership because we do have the ability to lead.
Okay, let me go to Mr. Jackson quickly for a last comment, and then I will come to Amos Joy for us to go. Mr. Jackson, are you there?
I'm there, sir.
Yeah, okay. What's your final departing statement?
Well, my fear is I feel that these things would have been handled if they really care for one another and care for the people of Liberia. But I think this was, manufactured, for them to make sure that they get rid of somebody, or, that it would benefit somebody who would be able to say would be the chosen one.
Yeah.
And if we cannot do it, in a very polite, and respectable manner, that would disadvantage the whole CPP, and CDC will use it against us, in our campaign. Just watch it.
All right.
Yeah. If they cannot manage, then say why they are poor, I'm going to manage in this country, and we just want to leave it like that.
All right. Thank you so much. And that's the fight, because it's just bad. And just Ambassador Boyka, who is a statement to sit and allow this train to derail, which of course they are derailed. It just speaks the mind that he would be another guy we accusing the CDC or George Weah government of Jefferson Koji, Samuel Toe, Nathaniel Magee. We're going to have triple or quadruple of those people, considering what is unfolding if Joseph Boyka is the next president. Joseph Boyka, whether you like it or not, he does not have the strength. He does not have the voice as it used to be. I do believe strongly when it comes to honesty, it's there. And people say he's corrupt. No, because I know exactly the in-depth that even Samuel Doe led him to fire him. It was simply because of the vehicles that came from Japan at the time, and though one of these things were being converted, and Boyka then to refuse, and that's how come Blazotoe and all of that. There's a deeper story to that. He was then much younger, but that's the fact. Age, energy, everything caught up with him. Liberia is such a volatile nation right now. And that's the bottom line. So we see some of these young folks pushing and pushing and pushing simply because they want to also be in charge when Joseph Boyka is there, so that it will make some concrete, some decisions that will be dangerous for the affairs of our country. Pat George, go ahead. But the possibility that I think, and I want to give Liberal the fair share, the Liberal, on a serious note, because we don't know the doer of this whole thing here they are talking about here. I don't know why this came to mind here. Either this clause or these conditions they are talking about, they were put in there unknowingly to Cummings himself to politically entrap him as well, because he's going to be the last handler to submit this document, and he did not even catch it, or his people did not see it. So the last person that was on the scene, police now calling you to be the persons of an interest. That could possibly be.
Let me. This one, I'm not going to let it go. In as much as I am hesitating to be part of that type of particular narrative, but I would do my best anyway. We saw, in fact, before I make that statement, when Tukpa, the new guy that coming hired, when that person came in, things started changing. And I'm not faulting the folks that was in coming camp before. However, I truly believe that Ava Tukpa, I don't know if that's
Ava Tukpa, yeah.
If he was part of this process from the beginning, I think coming issue would not have been this bad. Let's put it this way, because I think that young man would have approached Comey and explain to Comey exactly how the Liberian people view Liberian politics. Comey issue here, if I want to join you guys in speculating, I don't believe, even if Comey had changed anything, which I don't know, but even if it has happened, from my perspective, it must have happened honestly. Communists believe there's certain language perhaps that was affecting the entire process. Now, I'm not going to go into detail what happened, what have you not. This is the same issue. The trusting, Comey trusts those around him, and he trusts the system. And the Liberian system is rotten to the core. And Comey is yet to understand how rotten this system is. And I think he's learning. Now, look at what happened to Bernie Samukai. Bernie Samukai, having spent 12 years in a system that he himself helped to develop, believed in that system. And so when he was asked to go to court, he, instead of choosing jury trial, he decided he wanted a bench trial because he truly believed all the records are there, his hand was clean, and there's no way anybody can tie anything on him. Let's go to a bench trial. The judge will see that our hands are clean, and he will run the correct decision. It's the same thing here, Mr. Soul. So yeah, you know, we can all sit here and speculate here and there. But my thing, I don't even want to entertain that. I just want this thing to go behind us and let's move on and face the music of Dr. Weah and his people and dislodge these people from this position so that Liberia will be free. Why you in the center right don't understand it? Let's forget about shifting blame here, who did what and what have you. Let's move on. Things are happening. We know things happen. These people, the leadership themselves, will come and take responsibility. All four of them. And then let them tell the Liberian people that we did this. We're not one person. We didn't hide anything. Here is it. Our hands are clean. So this is how we're going to lead the government. And the CDC is done.
Egu, you are not close to the leadership of Liberty Party, something too, because if you are one of the advisors, you're going to lead our country into a mess, and that's exactly what you are doing.
I was on the Liberty Party leadership here in the United States. I was on the leadership team.
They don't even know you. They don't know you. They don't know you.
Well, that's why.
Okay, let's get the reaction yet. We valued our viewers' comments as long as it works within the confines of our institutions. Our valuable listener, Louis, say, I cannot believe this guy called So is doing ANC PRO. Oh my goodness. Sorry, you just do not know me much better. Do ANC? I am not a follower. As Samson told, as Emma George and other folks, that I am not a follower. I say it as it is. I say
we consider him like Liberian Donald Trump, please. He's not a follower. He give it to you anyway. He's Liberian Donald Trump.
I just feel the process is unfair because they start pulling things here and there. That even creates the suspicion of an unfair process. This sort of voting system, that sort of voting system, they didn't keep track of what they were doing. I just strongly feel these people were not just prepared in as much they needed to approach the CDC to find a strategy. They didn't really sit in their strategy room. They didn't just empty all. There were other people that are left setting things behind the closet and came out and wore their white garments as if they were coming with pure heart. That did not happen. But I strongly believe two things, and I want the facts to be established. And we will not even have about ANC or anybody. If ANC and Comey does it wrong, let the investigation. I am not something told, okay, we must leave it, we must just water it down and everything gonna be okay. No. I am not that type of person. We want to know who are the doers. This is how we support by governance. People do it, they say, oh, that my auntie or brother, so, and we let it go, forgive them. Hey, do you expect to penalize another person when it does the same thing? No. We are not certain stage. Amos George, we're going to be wrapping on here. I strongly believe, waiting for this investigation, Either those clauses or those conditions were put in there before it was passed on to Cummings, and Cummings and his folks did not carefully peruse the document itself. And so, being the last handlers of those documents, the ball drops on him, and that's the political price he's paying. Let me read a comment. Let me read a statement here, and then we can wrap up for the evening here. The man, and he said, eating politics a small thing. He won't be in politics. You want to be acting like something. This is a statement here we got hold here for regarding his press statement. It has been more than 24 hours since Senator Nyomble Kanga Lawrence released a contested findings. Carefully used word, contested findings from the committee set up to investigate alleged alteration of the CPP framework document. Contrary to the National Advisory Committee, ANC decision to send the report to the lawyers who had amended it. She indicted me in particular. Substantive. You hear what you're saying? You're trying to water down thing. That's another leader saying, indicted me in particular. And we heard those language. We heard those words vividly clear by Senator Nyomble Kangat Lawrence. Okay. Indicted means Sansetona is messing with my glasses. Let me go. Okay. Contrary to the National Advisory Committee NAC decision to send the report to the lawyers who amended it. She indicted me in particular and the ANC in general of complicity in tampering with the framework document and the attendant chaos within the CPP. As I have maintained, I do not wish to rise to the presidency of our beloved country on the back of lies and deceptions. I have lived a life that seeks or that speaks to me. I tarnish into my reputation and that of the eminent partisans and supporters of the ANC will not and must not go unanswered. He's also seeking answer. He's still in his position that he is not the doer. And you're coming out here to tell me that you come here and say to take responsibility. If you do not do anything, why are you taking responsibility of what? This is how you guys create chaos in our country. And we're going to point all of you out. Okay. At 2 p.m. on Sunday, October 10, 2021, I will address this issue and all of the concerns that you have. Whoa, the gloves is about to come out. You read that book, Chani Ashibi, when the Falcons?
I don't think so. I don't agree with you.
When things fall apart, the Falcons can no longer
I don't agree with you, Mr. So.
What I mean, that's the worst. I'm just reading a statement here.
Yeah, there's no gloves coming up. There's no glove coming up.
He's going to tell you, I'm waiting to see what he's going to say.
I will predict that.
Okay, let me finish. Susel, let me finish, and then you can predict. Let me finish, and then you can tell us who's going to be the next president for 2020 something. At 2 p.m. on Sunday, October 10, 2021, I will address this issue and all of the concerns that you have. Very legitimate concerns ranging from our stewardship to the CPP and how we intend to play by the rules to ensure our hope in new Liberia is reaffirmed. The press conference will be aired on several national and community radio stations and online platforms. Be assured that we did nothing wrong, and the truth will eventually triumph. Blessed weekend for Cummings. Amos George.
You see, Mr. That's why look. I said it from the onset that look, Nyomble Kanga had done harm to this body because I knew what she did there was not the way to go. Was not the way to go. But I think she did it because of sentiment from some quarters. Like she mentions, to say the press have been all over the thing. Yes. So the press will want to run your organization? No. Social media will not run your institution. If we are raising concern and you are not concluded your report, or you can come and have a press and say, look, ladies and gentlemen of the press, we understand that you people need this report, the public need it, but we want to do it with due diligence. We don't want to come and give you anything that tomorrow would misinform the public. So please bear with us. I got enough on your maker and go back.
But I called her. I told you, yeah. I told the liberal. I called and you said, oh, too much is going on. The attention is mounting. When the dust settles, I will honor your interview.
You see that?
So there are insubmissions of because, and the reason that what the press is good at, because when you are tight-lipped, when you have no reason of being tight-lipped to address those issues, just front on the can't come out to speak, and you allow somebody to pressure you, to allow your blood pressure and your cholesterol to rise over the roof, and you come and give a ridiculous press conference that just inflamed the entire situation. Listen to this.
According to you.
I'm reading from what the ANC people are
according to you, the press conference was inflaming the situation. But according to the entire population, the press conference was one of those
which population do you represent? Which population?
Let me predict to both of you. That is, if you guys, let me predict. I'm gonna leave both of you on here tonight. I'm not gonna let you force me into coming to your speculative commentary here tonight. I am the liberal. I'm here as a counterweight for two. I'm sorry the CDC professor is not with us tonight because he will have laughed by this time. Now, however, let me just tell you this. Let me tell both of you. Honorable Cummings is a leader. You cannot be a leader for Coca-Cola Company and people don't think that you are someone who unifies. If you are a leader to lead people like a company like Coca-Cola, you have to have the ability to unite people so that they will come and work for you. This is what I'm saying Comey is going to do. Comey is going to come with that press conference and make sure that those that are following him understand that it's not about him. It is not about Comey. Because anybody can cause Comey. That's their problem. But it's not about Comey. It's about saving our nation. And Comey understood that. Comey has that ability to understand that he needs to get involved.
You are telling me,
so you in the central right coming out here and say, Comey going to do this. Comey will bring out the unity among us. Comey will come and unite all of us. And then.
No, you're missing the point. The press release that Mr. So just read, Comey said his reputation, and Yomli Kanga had accused him.
And this is how far Comey will go. Hold on. This is how far Comey will go. Comey is not going to go anything beyond that. When he comes out, he's already out his complaint to the Liberal.
Let me ask you, the Liberal
are accusing me of X, Y, and Z. I didn't do it. The next time you see Comey on the public platform, Comey is coming.
So on the flip side, Liberal, do you agree with it? Because it's within their own framework, their own creation, their own document put together. This, I believe, is warrant expulsion. So do you think if Comey did it, if the investigation proved it, the investigation has not established any authenticity, anything to tell us, for us to have on hand, and I comment and listen to Yomli Kanga to Lauren, when someone is indicted, you know what happens? That's the
Mr. We do not need your commentary among us. Keep it to yourself. You're not helping the situation. You people are not helping this. I'm speaking for Liberia.
So why do you want to be selective in the talking point? We call out everybody when it is wrong. So why you want us to be selective in this?
I'm not saying you should be selective. I'm not saying you should be selective. My point here to you is
I'm not happy. I'm looking for answer. You want to be leader. You want to be leader.
Are looking,
I don't want to have
looking for let me say this.
I don't want to have people to open our national void
overnight. A boxing match because you said the gloves are off. You are looking for the boxing match.
I have mine already.
In the collaborating political party, so let me tell you this: in the fact that the collaborating political party has all intellectual, we don't fight, we debate.
Why are you in denial?
And then we'll be transparent. And this is what is happening.
Why are you in denial? They see the collaboration is in chaos. Why are you in denial?
Why are you saying it's in chaos?
Of course it is. You have the leader who is,
This is the analogy that I'm going to use. Somebody who don't know how to play football. When you see people playing football, and they're blocking each other because they don't know how to play. But if you have experienced players, watch the football game, how they move the match, how they move the ball from the person enjoy. And so this is what I'm telling you in the central right. Perhaps you guys are a little bit behind on this political collaborating process. We are here as united people.
No, Mr. Tola. Yeah. In as much I know you love your Liberty Party, you love the CPP, we all have interest in all the institutions. But I can tell you, if something is going wrong and somebody is not handling the right way, it is incumbent upon us to call that person, to let them know, because this is the same thing that happened today, like you're experiencing the problem. One person, we are saying, I can't speak, they say, no problem, be the president. Yeah. So today, if something happened in the institution and we cannot call these people to tell them, like,
Mr. Joyce, do you think among these four, let me ask you this question before you finish your statement, please. Let me ask you one question before you finish your statement. Do you think among these four collaborating political parties, do you see any of them being silent if one person is not doing right? Do you see any of them? I don't see so. Go ahead.
Yeah. Miss, your Honorable Boakai.
Dr. Boakai, please. Dr. Boakai, please.
Hold on. Dr. Boakai, Ambassador Boakai, has not shown any leadership in the CPP when there's crisis. Benny Ure has not shown any leadership. Because if Benny Ure had leadership, this thing would have not been to this point today. He would have called the four other officials and said, this is what I saw. Let us look at the document, what went wrong. But he took to the public. That's not how a leader behave. Now, you normally can't have let me go this way. On comments, we saw a success with the opposition winning seats in the by-election. Normally Kanga, since she took over, her own political party has been chaos by her and the CPP. So it tells me that she don't have the leadership skills and ability to run anything vital when it comes to the country. Because you can see the short time what she's going through, what we're going through. Her party in disarray, the CPP in disarray. This is to show you people who want to lead a country, they cannot manage these small crises. Then you want to take far.
This is why I believe both of you are on the wrong side of history. You from the beginning, I made a statement, and my statement was, we are in a mess. We know this is not good for us. You started with Benna Ure.
You're not telling us the mess. You're not telling all the mess.
The is speaking, please. You started with Benna Ure, Dr. Boakai, and then my good political leader, Madam Lawrence. You leaving Kumi's out. What is Kumi's own responsibility in this?
Listen,
are you going to put on that kind of blame as well?
No. Don't tell me who to mention.
No. I'm just asking you.
No, you don't ask me any question because I'm going to ask you. You don't answer any question here. You say this, you're right. So don't ask me.
Look, folks, this is how they deal with a liberal. You see the center right now, he's going to throw CDC commentary against me now. Go ahead, I'm listening.
I said one thing that I saw coming there wrong was find that document. I said, was that right?
I don't mean to interrupt. But if Kumi, if everyone else you point out have done something wrong, including Kumi's, then why won't you not accept my position to say this thing doesn't look good for us?
No. What you don't do, what you're not doing, you don't want to hold people accountable. You want to wrap it in a sheet that, oh, we all take responsibility. No, we want accountability. We want transparency. Before you take accountability, you must take responsibility that, yes, I did it thing, and this is what happened. The investigation.
You ever saw Liberian politicians ever apologize? No.
Yeah,
they
went
giant.
Oh, yeah, folks. I'm not going to give up on these two gentlemen. So please just bear with me. Those of you that think that I'm talking on fruit of ground here, just accept that these two gentlemen, they are far right, center right, and far right. I'm not liberal. I will be very careful with them, and I will be gentle with them. I'm also going to continue to engage them to try to enlighten them to understand the position that I'm in. I'm saying to these two gentlemen, fine, what good would it do us if we try to push on blame here, and there? The bigger picture.
So let me ask this question.
As Liberian, Mr. So the liberal is speaking. The bigger picture for all of us as Liberian is to make sure Liberia survives. The leadership we have right now, they are nothing to do with it, nothing to sneeze at. And that's why I'm saying we know people have done things. Mr. Center Right, let me land, please, if you don't mind. We know things have happened. And since we know that, the Liberian people have saying, look, things happen. That's fine. We know. Benedict Ure brought up the issue. Madam Lauren explained to us what is happening. Mr. Comey you just read Mr. Comey's statement where he's saying he has done nothing wrong. Now, that's fine. The point that I'm making, I want both you, the center right and the far right, to understand here tonight is this. There is no reason from my perspective to join you or for me to allow both of you to bamboozle me into accepting your position, which this liberal is not going to do. And here is my point. We, on the other hand, are responsible, transparent, and a good leadership. You said Joseph Boakai is not making comment. Joseph Boakai is not saying anything. Joseph Boakai told you from the beginning, this is politics. Politics is politics. We're having a discussion among ourselves. And at the end of the day, we will come to a conclusion and say, this is where we're going. The good thing you two understand, you two should understand, you two far left and far center right should understand is this. I am glad that these things are happening now. We got 1 year to go. By the time this process is done, CPP will be the best political party in Liberian history. We will be the #1 political party in Liberian history. And there will be nobody, no other political party in Liberian history that will come out and say, we're much more cleaner than CPP. CPP not only have the ability to be transparent, they have been transparent already. CPP has the leadership capability in Dr. Boakai, who is going to come. And people say, when I say this, and then I'm not serious, Dr. Boakai has the leadership ability to come and save this country.
Let me say
go on, center right.
Okay, go ahead, my Josh will soon wrap up.
If you're saying that Dr. Boakai has the leadership capability, what a leadership does, or the old man in the room does, when the children are making noise in the yard, he called them and say, "Why you're talking, you come here. Let me hear this and close it right here." This document business came up from Benedict Ure. Benedict Ure get ultimatum to Nyomne Kanga. Say, if you don't do it 1 week time, you see what I will do. If Boakai was a leader, as you stating, what was his job to do at the time? Was to call Benedict Ure and say, "Hey, what you got, tell me." And when you tell him, he will say, "Okay, let me call Cummins. Let me call Nyomne Kanga. The four sit down here. If we need, we'll bring our lawyers. Let's look at the document first and see what went wrong." That's what a leader does. But you sit down and you say, let the children fight. Who win? That a business. That is wrong. It does not portray you as a leader. Secondly, that transparency you're talking about, transparency comes about accountability. If that document was altered, what is the finger? Amendment made. The Liberian people have the right to know who did this alteration, who did the amendment, who fingered it, why was fingered, and who is going to benefit. Those are the things the Liberian people need to know. It's not about the 4 people. No, it is about the community, the country. Because if we don't do so, today the same thing that talk, oh, person, we can't talk to the nation. And the people would have done a thorough investigation, question, the country will not be in this state today. But because, as you say, oh, we don't want to have nobody like to put it together, we'll put it together, that's it. No.
This is why your far right brother always say to me, Mr. George, this is why Mr. Soul would say to me usually. And I'm surprised that he will sit there and let you rumble all over this place using the analogy that you're using. Because this is his own saying, Mr. Soul would say. You the old man, you can't be the first to say the bamboo ugly. Allah, Mr. Soul, that you're saying. Mr. Soul, I see you question that what you can say. You can't be the old person. Huh? You don't say that one?
No. I'm telling you. So why you wanna? Oh, I said, old man can't be on. I said an old man cannot be on the palm one.
No, but the one you can say.
Let me tell me. No, you want to tell me what
you can say? The one you can say. You the old man. You can't be the first to say the bamboo ugly. Well, how come now you want to sit out here now for Mr. George to say Joseph Barker should come out and say your staff?
Why you can't enjoy? You want to?
No, I'm just telling you. I'm surprised that you didn't stop it. Look, Mr. George, let me say this. In terms of Dr. Barker, folks, let's be serious someday. In terms of Dr. Barker understood the process. These are political parties that came together. Each of them has the right to defend their position. You don't expect Dr. Barker to come in when these people
what we are saying here, and you try to dilute this conversation here.
Oh, here we go.
Here is an investigation is been to launch. Supposedly, we heard that the investigation is concluded or was concluded, and there was a press briefing. The essence of the press briefing is to tell the Liberian people precisely the outcome of the investigation so that you will know, I will know what I'm a CPP person, I am not. I care less. It's not important. It's not relevant.
Okay, let me put for you in the corner. Let me first of all put both for you in the corner. Let me put both for you in the corner. You guys agree? Do you agree that under this CPP umbrella, the investigation about CPP has been open? Agree? Agree? No. Agree? Yes or no? Yes or no?
It's not a Shama Brown show here, Lpr-Tv.
You see? But do you agree? Do you agree that under this umbrella of CPP that there was an investigation?
No, capital N or no, it's not, because it does not meet the criteria. What an investigation
criteria on whose definition?
You say my definition or universal definition.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. That is to say, when they say there's an investigation, for example, for a homicide or whatever, and you come up with a finding, and for you to come
in a CPP document issue, I'm telling you, you're going too far.
Oh, come on.
You're going too far. A homicide in a CPP document that perhaps people say some words were changed, and you're going to say killing? Killing and CPP don't go together.
It's a political homicide. It's a political homicide.
We're not CDC. Killing and CPP, they don't go together. You talk to killing, perhaps you go talk to CDC.
Yeah, well, you sounding very ridiculous now. I'm talking about political homicide because someone or people say a crime is committed. And when a crime is committed, it's a grave concern that you as a commentator, you as an informer, to sit here and that you want to leave your audience with ambiguity without an understanding after telling us that the investigations are concluded and to tell us, okay, we're going to say this and see what they are saying. Now, I will say it again before we go. There are two things here. Either those conditions were inserted into that document unknowingly, because from what I can make a good educated guess here, out of the 4, 3 colluded against 1. That's why it shows me they are exhibitor A. The visual image has proven it. Coming from my communication background, the visual image has shown itself. Visit, it works. The 3 put together and so we're going to push this one aside, whether you like it or not. And more importantly, they have deployed the subliminal messages to perfectly suit their taste. But I can tell you, these sort of messages will not influence my talking point. It has been deployed by these people, and we are saying, if we also have a good governance, just how we want to hold the CDC accountable, and you think that you want to slide things under the table, and you want to just close the door on us without us saying it because you want to travel under the cloud of darkness, it is unacceptable. And we need to know. I don't want to have a leaders who are going to overnight open my national void, who are going to bring tank out and drain down the oil from Lpr-Tv. I don't want to have a leader who are going to go to and snake into early dawn to do things without us knowing. And then when time comes, some of you want us to have a peaceful settlement. Palava Hotep. It is unacceptable, and that is ridiculous. We want to wait and see what happens. We want this to be resolved. But however, we don't want political correctness. We want the doer to come out. We want the investigation to establish the fact, brings all of the facts out. Let us have access to it.
Forensic. Go to all the computers.
They're not signing a porous society bush here that you want to do it within the CPP. Okay, we're just going to settle it. We're going to water it down. Hell no, that's not going to happen. We're going to call you guys out. Because you know why? When you get to that state power, if you're not exhibit good political tolerance, you're going to lead that country. If you take state power, you're going to lead that country into chaos because you're going to fight over ministries and agencies of government. People will want to say, I want to be this, I want to do that because I fight for this. And that's what we are trying to avoid. Gentlemen, we're going to bring the
I got to make my closing statement, Mr. So you can't
come
out here and lead the audience as though the liberal has nothing. No, Mr. So you can't do that.
Unfortunately, time is out.
Mr. So you cannot do this to us because this is unfair.
Who are you speaking for?
Okay, you can't do this to me. Let me make my closing statement.
Wait,
Mr. Yeah, please. I mean, you can't come out here now and say, because you're feeling saying all of your conservative view, and then you think that will be the end of it.
Mr. George wants to speak, please, Mr.
No, let me go ahead first.
Here we go. Folks, this is what they do to me at all times. So please.
Go ahead,
thank you.
Why have you not said that? Why you want to say again?
Why are you trying to block me? Let me express myself. Well, folks, the point that I'm making here tonight, it's not because I do not respect transparency. The point that, Mr. So, please, the liberal is on the floor. The point that I'm making here tonight is not because I do not want people to understand what is happening in CPP. In fact, what is happening in CPP is a history that is being made because CPP has opened itself up for criticism. CPP has opened itself up for investigation. So we are here to investigate. The point that I'm making is this.
Gentlemen,
CPP,
the old man on the wall crack, the time has cut off.
Mr. So, will you please? You truly believe that by me
10:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we operate on time.
This is what we have. This is what they do to me by trying to silence me while I'm making my point. So, Mr. Sir, if you will let me finish my point, you can close your show.
Okay, 30 seconds. Since you beg for mercy, I grant you executive clemency. 30 seconds.
Jesus Christ. Well, this is the kind of person that will go to Liberia and be a leader. He will throw people in jail. The South Beach will be too small.
The jail, you know what, the government, they're supposed to start building some correction facilities.
Here we go. But anyhow, let me make my point, my people, so I can go before the man cut my mic off, because that's exactly what he's getting ready to do. So the point here is, I want since we have opened ourselves up for criticism, we have opened ourselves up to show that we're transparent. Let all of us, those that are in leadership, all of those people that are in leadership position, let them CPP, let them come together, take responsibility, and let's move on. Mr. Cumming, Mr. So, please.
Why you want to put a take people out of responsibility?
You said you want me to close. Why you gonna get involved again? Mr. Cumming, when you come in on Sunday, please show the leadership ability that you have, that we all know. Unite the CPP. You have already gained a lot. Unite the CPP. Don't share blame. Don't argue with anybody. Unite us and let us win and take Liberia first. Let's put it. It's not about you. It is not about Baka. It is not about Benayu. It's not about my political leader. This is about Liberia.
Thank you so
Let's
much.
put Liberia first. Thank you very much.
I can't imagine for me to take blame for someone else's crime. Crimes are not transferable. What are you doing?
Can say all you want to say. I'm done. I'm done making my.
What are you guys treating Liberia like a trash? Hi, George, go ahead.
Well, let me say this. In as much we want to see a better Liberia, equally so we have to hold those who want to take state power. And if someone come and make a statement on an allegation, we should hold them accountable to prove beyond reasonable that this person did it. Whether they did it with bad intention or good intention, we should know who did it. Then with that, we can move forward. Then we can speak about transparency and leadership. But during the after that, we cannot go like that. And I will say again, your political young Bill Kanga, she made a mistake by that press conference. She should have gone back to the executive committee before coming to utter those statements. She didn't do it, and this is why we are. And Kwame will be coming back. That Kumaya is singing, Kwame will fire back. I can tell you that.
Okay, well, folks, what a great, fascinating conversation here. Look, folks, our viewers, listeners, I want to thank you so much. We don't amuse, we don't entertain people here. We speak it as it is, more or less. So if you come here with the hope that you want to hear certain thing that plays in your narrative, you are wrongfully located. We speak why it is. The liberal progressive, we have these sort of tense arguments, exchange, dialogue, conversation, but we don't worry again. So right after this program, if he doesn't call me, he will not sleep, believe me. And if I don't call Amos George will not sleep. What happened to the CDC professor? He said that on Sunday you're going to be
because the CDC professor, they're in trouble right now. They unable to come in and try to defend the position. There is serious trouble, and we know about it. So CDC professor can't come
out. Your former party chairman Steve Zago will be here on Sunday. So we need to get his take from two different perspectives: the low-fire side and what's going on with the CPP. But we'll closely be monitoring what's going to be unfolding on Sunday. That conference we're waiting to see. But look, folks, we want to thank you so much. What we really want is for our leaders to be held accountable. There must be no any tax exempt. There must be no any political exempt from anybody. I vehemently disagree with Samson Toll to make crime transfer crime. Oh, they must come and everybody must say, take it. You need to tell me into what you are taking responsibility for. We must have. It is time for us to tell our politicians to call them out. Here, like American people here, they come out, and if when even tension mounted, they will come, and their wives, their spouses, or whatever stand by, they say, and they will say, "I'm sorry." What are they? And we move on. But you want us to water down things. It is unacceptable. That's not good for Liberia. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much, and to our many viewers and followers. This is a new release here. Let's see.
Thank you.
This is
This is by Dencio, a Liberian artist based in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia.
Man who knows the truth but always reject it. Open your eyes and see what God bless. No man can.
Open your eyes and see the liberal progressive for the good of Liberia.
Searching for that space. Come and they are breaking, waiting for that space. And I am praying, praying with my faith. And
Men moving, men dropping in Liberia. And we need to talk all of this here. Artists, musicians, they have a specific way to communicate with the general public, with the people. And that's exactly what then CEO is doing.
implementing, all the bowling used to hit today. Me, they say they let, thank God for me. All the bowling used to hit today. They calling me the champion. See what you done for me, Papa. See the play you took me from, Daddy. I know.
This is a very beautiful song. So we just received this here from Dencio. There's another one that he is on the block. It says, "What's going on, Mr. President?" So let us go. There are a lot of unanswered questions by our politicians, including those that are in charge of state power, and even those that are on a maritime to take state power. No one should go free, including our very selves. But unfortunately, most of us Liberians, we become followers. We quick to fall in bed literally with things what people say, and where we just do not have the capacity to go beyond what they are saying to see what the truth is and sift it, put them on the radar and know what exactly good for us. That is dangerous for our country. And we know the challenges faced by the media because they are entertainers. And there are other folks that are there also waging an effective propaganda and using to one of the dangerous tools in communication, subliminal messages. They appears to be true. They are not true. The image, you can look at this image and tell you exactly they are not true. There's a facsimile to the real message. But we are here. We will keep these informations and conversation proportionate. I am Afonso Zayan Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. To you, our viewers and followers, I want to thank you so much for your time, your patience with us. You can disagree with us. That is okay. We don't usually black people. We allow people to speak their views and their opinion as long it is within the confines of our own network establishment. The only thing that we cannot condone and will not allow is insult and just throw something out there without proof. Then of course you are answerable. And this is why sometimes our callers, when they call here, they also have a share responsibilities of their comments, their tweet, including myself, all because we want a better Liberia. But as it looks right now, it appears not. And even if we are to hold the national government accountable, the opposition as well, they have to prove themselves as a right alternative. We can't have these tons of apprehensions and just leave this within their hands. It is unacceptable. They must exhibit political tolerance in their conversation. If you are a baby and you are wearing a diaper or pimples or whatever it is, don't get involved in politics. It's not all about name calling or insult. You must be persuasive. You must be its influence. You must argue to your political leader or your party that you represent, their political ideology, how they're going to downsize government, how they're going to invest into education, agriculture, the health, and the infrastructure development. Those should be your talking point. Every day can turn throwing tantrums and trying to seek public attention. And unfortunately, the entire society, the general public, falling into this conspiracy, the spreading of these subliminal messages that doesn't look true. They are not real. They are not authentic. They are creations. They are restructured. They are presented as if they are real messages, but they are not. And you need to open your eye. And that's the political war that is being waged now. Visual, the communications and the images by presenting something to you that is not right. But you have the choice to decide because you are a grown man and woman. But what I've come to realize in our country, The bad one seems to get the attention, and we seems to celebrate. And sooner or later, we cry, baby cry, as if we didn't know what we were doing and what we were involving ourselves into. I want to thank you so much. We're going to keep this conversation going from time to time. We want the best out of Liberia. That bottom line. That's the point. We need the best out of Liberia. If you start acting like a little baby and you think you're just going to have an easy pass to go in this building, the millions of dollars being used and nothing is being accounted for, or you want to be a lawmaker, oh no. We are in a real digital age and we are keeping track of things that are coming out of your mouth. We are keeping track of them. And there will come a time, history will call you out to point. Thank you so much.
Yadon, Captain Roots, Okura, now tell my boy big up next you. They keep my boy then see you. 360 boy then see you. Some pick music then see you. Then I'm blessing for you. Gonna let the body structure. I let the conversation. Woman, you cool and you nice. I need a resident permission. Man a Gaza, man a bomber. Our man a bomber. Then you are loyal, you not brutal.